Hey, what's up guys? Everything Apple Pro here. Today I wanted to go more in depth and compare Samsung's new Galaxy S20 Ultra to Apple's iPhone 11 Pro Max. I did get a chance to go hands-on with the Ultra at Galaxy Unpacked. I gotta tell you, it is more advanced, more futuristic seeming, and more in a league of its own compared to Apple's current 11 Pro Max. So let's go down the list, see in which ways it's different, which ways it's better or worse than the 11 Pro Max. Also, I want to say I am doing a giveaway. So 3 Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultras with a finalization date on March 15th. So all the info will be on that down below. Of course, we're still running the AirPods Pro giveaway and then the Alter Ego case as well. So giveaways galore. Anyways, let's jump into that. So upon first impression, I really like the S20 Ultra. It's sleeker. It was different from the S10 where it was a taller phone. You get more display. The actual screen to body ratio is an insane 89%, 89.9 versus Apple's 83.7% on the 11 Pro Max. It certainly shows. This thing feels like it's from the future. Now, as for the design, what I did like is that they got rid of the Bixby button, so there's no more useless dedicated button for that on the side. Everything's uniform. I like that they did the little curve on the glass side, much like the Note 10 series. So the design just looks sleek. They took what they did with the S10 and improved upon it. You now have that single camera in the center of the display, which gives it a more uniform and pleasant look. Of course, the bottom chin has been lowered and improved from the Galaxy S10 series. So as far as just design, it looks better and it seems sleeker than Apple's iPhone 11 Pro Max. Of course, the camera bump on the rear, that's debatable. That one is absolutely huge. I thought the 11 Pro Max one was bad when it came out. This thing is just gargantuan. And of course, you're gonna get more capability with the camera with it. But as far as looks, that's debatable. It's up to you guys to decide. As far as materials go, the iPhone 11 Pro Max has a stainless steel border. The Galaxy S20 series does have aluminum, and it does use Gorilla Glass 6, which is the same as last year's S10 series. The iPhone 11 Pro Max has the world's toughest glass, or so Apple says, and it really does hold up in the tests. And of course, we will be doing the drop tests with the new S20 series. I also came to this event to try on our new Rebel series case, which fit perfectly, and we're gonna be entering production on that fairly soon here, so stay tuned for updates. As far as comfort, I did appreciate that the S20 Ultra was not as wide as the 11 Pro Max, so just naturally holding it, using it with one hand seemed easier. Although I do appreciate the texture of the 11 Pro Max more. That matte texturized feeling makes it grippier, less likely to slip out of your hands without using a case. Both phones weigh just about the same. The 11 Pro Max, 4 grams heavier at 226. And when it comes to durability, the iPhone has already proved itself. It did very good in the tests. As far as Gorilla Glass 6, it's the same technology used in the S10 series, which didn't hold up as well, and the design is still very exposed. But the fact that the screen is not as curved could make a difference. Of course, we'll have to test that out. It's a more flat screen than the S10 series, which is something I appreciate. I've never really liked waterfall displays. They make viewing content a little bit more difficult. And water resistance on the iPhone remains better. There was a rumor that it would be getting better, but that hasn't transpired. So the Galaxy S20 series does retain its 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, the 11 Pro Max goes to 4 meters for 30 minutes. I definitely trust that more around a pool, just any outdoor water sport activities. Moving on to displays, we've got a 6.9-inch display on the S20 Ultra versus 6.5 on the iPhone. It just feels more futuristic. It's the same display technology, although Galaxy supports HDR10+, whereas the iPhone supports just HDR. Both displays are quite sharp, although the S20 Ultra series is 511 pixels per inch and the iPhone 458, so just a little bit better there. I also really appreciate the fact that there is no notch on the Galaxy S20 series, just a little pinhole camera, which is an improvement from the dual lens on the S10 Plus. The trade-off here is that the fingerprint sensor, the ultrasonic sensor built into the screen, is not as secure as Face ID, so you do need that notch still for that hardware. Hopefully will be improved with the 2020 iPhone, but just display alone, you gotta give it to the Galaxy. Not to mention the 120 Hertz refresh rate display. It's only available in full HD, so you can't do that in the Quad HD resolution, although maybe in the future they'll enable that. It's definitely a very sweet experience to have your content just flow on the screen like that. And the touch input layer is running at 240 Hertz, whereas on the iPhone, it's 120 Hertz for the touch input layer. So just your gestures, recognition, it's that much faster and smoother. There's also, of course, an always-on display, but that's something that could be added to the iPhone with software, hoping for that in iOS 14. And moving on to camera sensors. So this is one area where Samsung just went all out. outgunned Apple just on specs alone. So the Galaxy S20 Ultra features a 108 megapixel sensor. It uses a technology called pixel binning, where it combines 9 pixels into one. So the equivalent 12 megapixel shot on the S20 Ultra will look sharper and better because it's using the data from a 108 megapixel sensor to compress it down into a shot similar to that of the 11 Pro Max. Aperture is also wider at 1.8 versus the 2.2 on the 11 Pro Max. As for the telephoto lens, we're looking at a 40 megapixel telephoto lens with 5 times optical zoom, and then they use a bunch of software trickery to add up to 100 times space zoom. Now, I'm not gonna lie, in theory, it sounds great. You can zoom that far. And during the demo, just sitting close to the screen, you can see all the pixels. It did not look that great. And in my testing, actually, comparing it to the iPhone, it was not very sharp. Yes, you can zoom to 100 times, but what are you gonna do with that picture? I mean, there's really nothing great you can take. It's still gonna be blurry at 100 times, even 30 times. But 5 times, 10 times zoom all looked better because that periscope zoom setup inside is brilliant, and I feel like Apple should be adding something like that to the iPhone. And then you have a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor, which has a better aperture of 2.2 versus 2.4 on the iPhone. So in theory, you should be able to take better pictures on all lenses on the Galaxy S20 Ultra, and with testing, we'll be able to see if it really does stack up and is better, but the camera here, just specs alone, the Galaxy wins. And then you have a new 0.3 megapixel time of flight sensor for 3D scanning, something that the 2020 iPhone is rumored to get, and this one is hidden away in the lens, so you can't really see it, but it's there. And of course, 8K video recording at 24 frames per second, so cinematic shots on the Galaxy S20 Ultra, something the iPhone could not hope to do. And I do have an 8K TV, but that's such an emerging technology. Most people really won't care about it. It's cool that it's there and that it's possible, but not many will be using it for quite some time. Also, as far as front-facing cameras go, the S20 Ultra has a 40 megapixel shooter, both apertures at 2.2. The iPhone's is 12, so definitely beat out there. And of course, the star of the show for the Galaxy is 5G connectivity. So it enables speeds on your phone unlike anything the iPhone can do, and it can do both sub-6 gigahertz and millimeter wave technology. Of course, you have to live in an area that does support this, but you will be living in the future of connectivity on the Galaxy. That's just no contest. Winner is the Galaxy here. So with just what I've covered, it seems like the Ultra is competing with the 2020 iPhone, not what's currently out. It's just blown past it in terms of specs and connectivity and the screen. Like, I'm all for it. I just hope they can deliver a beautiful software experience with it, much like Apple does with the iPhone. As far as what's powering these, so the Galaxy S20 series is using the Snapdragon 865. Apple has their Apple A13 chip. Both are using 7nm refined processed chips, although Apple's is of course more powerful, more optimized. You're gonna get higher numbers in the Geekbench here. On the iPhone, you can expect about 3500 multi-core score. On the Galaxy, about 3200, and 920 single on the Galaxy, and about 1330 on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So it's definitely the more powerful, more capable chip, and then the 2020 iPhone is just gonna take it that much further. RAM-wise though, you're getting 12 gigabytes on the 128 and 256 gigabyte variants of the Ultra, and then a whopping 16 gigabytes on the 512 gigabyte version. That's crazy. Your apps will stay open in the background longer, like the speed tests have proved, and like the following speed tests will also prove. The iPhone has very poor RAM management when you're really stretching it, using a lot of applications, and that's just one win for the Galaxy. Although raw power still goes to the iPhone. And the battery technology. No complaints with the 11 Pro Max. This thing has been delivering all-day battery life, sometimes 2 days battery life. It's got a massive 3,969 milliamp battery, which is massive for an iPhone, but the Galaxy takes it even higher with 5,000 milliamps. Now it needs this to power that 120 hertz display if you choose to enable that mode. It's not enabled by default. And of course the 5G connectivity. So those are two major power draws. How it actually equalizes in day-to-day life, we don't know yet. So that remains to be seen, but the bigger battery is of course on the Galaxy. Charging wise, the Galaxy is more advanced, 45-watt charging, which gives you a full battery in 74 minutes. The iPhone is still using 18-watt battery charging for 50% battery life in 30 minutes. And wrapping this up with a few last points. So the headphone jack no longer exists. That can no longer be used in the Galaxy's favor. They removed it like on the Note series. Also, the S20 Ultra has stereo speakers and very good ones at that. So no longer is the iPhone the king of the speaker system on the phone, and 9-watt reverse wireless charging, which lets you charge the new Galaxy Buds Plus on the back of your phone. That is a very understated feature that I hope Apple brings to the iPhone, but is a killer in a pinch. I absolutely love it. Colors on the S20 Ultra are very muted. There's a cosmic gray, cosmic black. I wish they did something more creative here with a blue, white, a pink even. The iPhone has the advantage of color selection here. You get gold, space gray, midnight green, and silver. And getting to pricing, we've finally gone to the territory where the Galaxy series is more expensive than the iPhone. So the Galaxy S20 Ultra in its base configuration of 128 gigabytes is $1,400. The base iPhone 11 Pro Max is $1,099 with 64 gigabytes, although you can upgrade storage on this one up to a terabyte using the micro SD card. So that's a huge plus. You don't need to go all the way to 512 unless you specifically want the 16 gigabytes of RAM. So value for money. I honestly think that at this point, Apple is providing just about maybe a little bit more value for the money, but then again, you're getting all this new technology on the S20 Ultra. It is in its early stages, the 120 Hertz refresh rate display, 5G technology. It's not as efficient as it'll be when it comes out on the iPhone, but you're getting it first. You're getting to experience the future on the S20 series. So it's up to you to decide if that technology is worth the premium. Something I never thought I'd say is that the iPhone is cheaper and provides a better value at the price point. So yeah, there it is, guys. Pretty much a comparison. Of course, we'll be doing the hands-on, drop test, everything once they do arrive. Do check out the giveaways down below. Let me know your opinions on the S20 Ultra. Now that the dust has settled, I think it's a very great device. I love that they're pushing forward with the technology, and I can't wait to actually use it in my life. I'm actually going to be trying it out again. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.